So we have no background noise during the presentations. Thank you. I also see that we have most of our jury members, part of the jury team today. Our jury team is a diverse group of professionals. Each are specialists in their domain, and that's why make it always very interesting when it's the result of making the right choice and selected the winner during this kind of events. Of course, I see also our partners. Partners are of really are great value for us because they are part of the team, of course. They are also part of the jury team, most of them. And we have some specific partners who are also from the start part of Growth Garage. And we have Peter Walde from Mapigi, and of course also Bram Genen from Wevolver team. They are from the start, from the first engineering challenges, joining and supporting us very closely. Thank you. I see still people coming in. We still give them some minutes. We organized this event from our headquarters, Mitsubishi Chemical Group headquarters, EMEA headquarters in Düsseldorf. And here, therefore, I really would like to thank our participants here in this meeting from the different time zones. We have people joining from the US, very early morning, and also late night from Japan. Thank you really for doing the effort, for supporting us during this event. It really, we are very happy that you have you here in the call. Thank you. So for those who do not know me, my name is Joke van Lauwe. I'm project manager in Growth Garage. I'm already from the start joining the team. Growth Garage is the open innovation hub of Mitsubishi Chemical Group. My main focus is taking care of the programs. We have different programs that we run. Here you have the engineering challenge, and also taking care of our Growth Garage platform. We have the growthgarage.mcgc.com. If you want to take a look, go ahead. You will see and find all our programs and what we did so far in the past already. Of course, a main part of my role is also supporting the jury team and our participants, of course, where and when it's needed. But I'm not alone in what I'm doing. I have always the support of my colleagues, my direct colleagues, who are also here in the call. I will share my screen. And we will start. Of the event, the afternoon, I would like to go through the program with you. First of all, we will have Tim Vorage, who will share learnings and his insights, his key insights about open innovation and how crucial it is to future-proof your business. Followed by my colleague Ishan Daftardar, who will give a complete overview of the finalists and a description of each project. Of course, we have 11 finalists in total, and it will be followed by the winner announcement. Of course, this is why we are here, because this is really the crucial moment where we want to announce who is finally the winner of this event. And afterwards, we will have two guest speakers. First is Peter Walde from Mapigi. Peter will talk about key trends and the future of manufacturing. And there is a little shift because we have our second guest speaker who was announced ill today. And Bram from the Weaveover team has kindly proposed to jump in, and he will also talk about the latest technology trends, talk about Weaveover and his community. But first of all, I would like, of course, give the first part to Tim Verage. Tim embodies the philosophy. He calls it, to meet the challenges of tomorrow, we have to nurture the visionaries of today. And he embodies this philosophy as a corporate entrepreneur at Mitsubishi Chemical Group. In fact, he's challenging the traditional business models and advocating for circular economy principles. He's the founder of the online open innovation hub, also called Growth Garage, and he is dedicated to supporting internal and external innovators through their teams. RevOps will operate based on an ambidextrous model, concurrently exploiting the core and exploring the new. Acknowledging that open innovation must lead to business impact, of course, Tim navigates obstacles, reshaping the core to future-proof the business and fostering a culture of sustainable entrepreneurship. Recognizing that market and business intelligence is key to successful innovation, the RevOps team is continuously building intelligence use cases by making use of artificial intelligence. Tim has a master degree in chemical engineering on the Technical University of Eindhoven, the Netherlands. And he has also a professional doctorate in engineering with a focus on process and product development, and certified as a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt. His professional career started at DSM in 2005, and he shifted from DSM to Mitsubishi Chemical Group in 2019, where he is today's Director of Revenue Operations and Growth Garage, of course, and he's also Global Growth Manager. Tim, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Joke. It has been a long time that I got such a professional introduction. Thank you for that. Hey, very nice to meet all of you. Great to see, let's say, so many representations from all over the globe, from Japan, EMEA, but also from US. So that is absolutely exciting. Thank you all for being here. We have a big get together here in our, let's say, headquarters in Düsseldorf. So I'm not the only one sitting here, let's say, in this room, but also great to see everybody from you joining online. So special welcome also from my side. We're quite excited, let's say, about this event after all those months of looking at all the submissions, etc., to come to this moment is always quite exciting. So once again, thank you on behalf of Mitsubishi Chemical Group for being here. Looking at, let's say, the schedule, we prepared, let's say, a first presentation around the setup, around open innovation. What does that mean for us? Why we think it is important, and also how it could support you. And then we go to the exciting part leading up, let's say, towards the award ceremony. So without further ado, let me share my screen and start the presentation. Let me look around here if you are able to see this on the screen. I hope you are. Yes, I get thumbs up. Okay, good. Let us start. In 1942, Dr. Einstein, he was a teacher at the Oxford University. And one day he was giving an exam to his physics students. And after 10-15 minutes, one of the students raised his hand and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, Dr. Einstein, I think you made a mistake. These are the same questions as last year." And in response to that, Dr. Einstein said, "Yes, that's true. But this year, the answers have changed." And that is something, let's say, that we all have to do with, let's say, whether you are a corporate or you are a startup.
the context in which we operate is constantly changing. So there are a lot of dynamics in the world. The questions, however, that we have, how to scale a business, how to become successful, how to become profitable, how to build an ecosystem, those are similar questions, but the answers are changing. And what we found is that you always have to be aware about the context that you are in. And that is one of the elements, let's say, that we will emphasize during this presentation. Before going into those details, for everyone, let's say, that is new to Mitsubishi Chemical Group, we are here with around 70,000 colleagues. And what you see in the front is our headquarters in Tokyo. And where we are today, let's say, hosting this presentation is our headquarters in Düsseldorf. On the background, you see our Science and Innovation Center in Yokohama in Japan, really illustrating that R&D, that innovation, science is really at the core of our company. Not to make it a lengthy explanation about our company, you see, of course, our logo with the 3 red diamonds. If you look at our name, Mitsubishi, Mitsu means 3, and Bishi, or actually Hishi, that is a water chestnut, and that resembles, let's say, the 3 diamonds. So that's, let's say, where you can remember our logo and also what it means. There is also, let's say, a background for that. Actually, every diamond represents something else. The first one is integrity and fairness. So that's also how we find ourselves, let's say, doing business. The second diamond is responsibility for society. So that means that we cannot be successful or call ourselves successful in a society that fails. So being responsible, let's say, and taking that role is also part of our philosophy. And number 3 is global. And of course, with all the submissions and everybody that is here on the call from, let's say, all the different time zones around the world, definitely illustrates also that portion of our company. So just, let's say, to give you a bit of a background on that. Going back, let's say, to the story about the anecdote actually about Dr. Einstein, where the questions might be the same, but the answers are different, is that the context, let's say, in which we operate is different. And that is, let's say, something that everybody, let's say, should recognize, whether you are a startup or a corporate. And we typically look at it, let's say, in our team from several, let's say, areas. The first one, let's say, the largest holistic scope is really to look at what's going on in the world. That can be aging population, water scarcity, global heating, distribution of wealth, etc. So that is, let's say, at the highest level. But if you go down a couple of, let's say, levels, if you go down a couple of levels, you also see, let's say, on microscopic level, that's more the textual environment, where geopolitics play a role, where legislation plays a role, where interest rates or energy prices play a role. All of these elements can have influence on your business, even if you are a startup. If there are disruptions in the supply chain and, let's say, companies want to produce locally, that has an influence on how you do your business, how you set up your business, and maybe also some of the problems that you are solving with your business. So all these elements are important. If you go to the meso level, the more transactional level, that is actually the partners with whom you, let's say, have a relation, with whom you have a transaction. That can be the regulatories, that can be investors, your suppliers, or even your partners. That is also a very important level, and to choose wisely whom your partners are in a value chain. It's also, let's say, for a lot of startups like you, we also see whom is your partner. Is it an investor that gets involved? Is it an investor that, let's say, only gives you money? Is it, let's say, a customer that is investing in you? All these kind of questions are relevant, let's say, when you are building your business. And of course, the last level is, let's say, how you control your company. And this is also very important. We will come back to that at the end. We have defined, let's say, certain key success factors over the years that we have been working with startups, scale-ups, innovative companies. And we want to share, let's say, a couple of these insights also with you. based on selection criteria, but also to share where we see successful startups and scale-ups. What do they have in common? How do they grow their business? What is the key to success? So that is something that we are going to share with you. If we take a little bit a step back and see where you are active and what industries are looking for, we often, let's say, refer to an industry as, let's say, a big box in where we do, let's say, our business. And that box, let's say, is determined by manufacturing, by legal, by supply chain, by the materials that you have in your portfolio. So typically companies operate within a certain box. If they are really true and honest to themselves, that box is not that big. It's typically more, let's say, it's smaller than we think. Because typically an industry that we are active in, for example, our industry, the chemical industry, you have a lot of standards, you have a lot of norms. And actually norm is simply the abbreviation for normal. That means that whatever you want or not, a lot of companies are working within a certain box. When we go back to the story of Dr. Einstein, we also said, well, hey, questions are the same. The answers might be different. The question then is, do we find the answers for building a future-proof business within that box? And typically that is not the case. And that is also, let's say, where your work is so extremely important, because you are challenging the status quo of industries. You are doing something that is even sometimes outside the boundaries of an industry, or you don't even know that you are not following the rules in an industry, which is a good thing, because that is also something that really gets us forward as an industry. So by recognizing that, at least as a big corporate, that we sometimes are operating within that box, that we also need to challenge ourselves, and that we also need to work together with bright minds around the world, like yourselves. And that is also one of the reasons why we are looking for answers together with you, together in this ecosystem with partners, to make sure that we continue challenging status quo and building a future-proof company. Like some of you, we also started as a small team quite a couple of years ago in May 2019. Some of you also might recognize these kind of journeys. They go with ups and downs, but hopefully, let's say, still, if you look back, if you stand on the balcony, so to say, that always year on year, yeah, you should start moving forward as a company, and also, let's say, for us as a team within a large corporate environment. So also we have gone through, let's say, cycles of proving ourselves, building prototypes, getting proof of concept, raising capital, let's say, inside the company, and of course, to see how we can grow and also, let's say, boost the impact. So this is the journey for the team, for our revenue operations team, with whom you will be working after this challenge if you are announced, let's say, as one of the winners. How our team is being set up, just to give you some insights in what we are doing. As a big company, of course, we have a lot of materials, technologies, expertise, manufacturing to our disposal. We typically call this exploit the core, to make sure that we deliver, let's say, on existing promises to our customers. The other part is around exploring the new and to find these interesting new growth buckets, technologies, etc. And there we have, let's say, this ambidextrous model where we both, let's say, support exploiting the core, but also, let's say, look into exploring the new, and making sure that our ideation is not only internally, but also externally together with you. We have a process for that that we typically follow, going from ideation into diagnostics, an intelligence deep dive, building minimum viable product, validation, testing with customers. And of course, there is always the possibility that something fails. We try to fail fast and scale fast. But if, let's say, it is successful, then we also intend to take the next step and to scale and deploy, and really, let's say, bring it back into the core of our business to future-proof our business. This is, of course, something that we also, let's say, process that we would like to follow with you. where we also go into ideation, diagnostics, building an MVP, validating. But of course, the other part is to really make an impact. We need to scale and deploy. So this is typically the process that we will follow, and also what we would like to follow together with the winner. In our team, we actually have two building blocks. One of them is around intelligence, mostly based on AI. The other part is the open innovation platform, Growth Garage, which you are already quite familiar with. Just to give you a couple of insights about both elements, but also how we use these, let's say, together. The intelligence part, or the artificial intelligence part, is about building case studies for our company to see where these elements really help us. What we do is we make a digital twin of our company, of our materials, technologies, manufacturing processes, etc. We call this the technology modules. And then we try to link it with emerging technologies, with innovations, with competitors, with customers, even for acquisitions, etc. So we have built many different case studies where we try to match our company with the external world. And I also will explain a little bit later how we do this, also in combination with our open innovation activities. One of, let's say, the partners that we work with is Mappigy, and also the CEO, Peter Walde, is today on the call. And it's an important element, let's say, of our technology stack, let's say, in the intelligence part, to really stay on top of innovations. And also, at the moment that we have one of those topics on our open innovation platform, we have done our homework, we looked into the intelligence, and also have defined this as a strategic and relevant topic to look into. So the same is for FGF 3D printing. For some of you, let's say, the use of intelligence or AI is considered to be something for big companies. What we think is that this also will commoditize relatively soon over the next coming years, meaning that AI will be, let's say, available for everybody, also if you are a small company. Jensen Huang is the CEO of NVIDIA. He even goes a little bit further in that, and he even states that besides the fact that AI will commoditize, that also we don't need programming anymore, meaning that we will go to a natural language process where everybody can operate AI. We share that vision. It's also something that we would foresee over the next coming years to really become true, which also means that if you are a startup, scale-up, innovative company and are not making use of this, please have a chat with us because we think we can also help you in this area and make sure that you can go into the latest intelligence, use it for your company, make data-driven decisions to really help you moving forward. As indicated, the other element that we have in our team is the open innovation. You are familiar with our Open Innovation Hub Growth Garage, where we have 3 different programs at this moment. One of them is the engineering challenges, likewise the FGF 3D printing challenge. And as you can see on the right, we have done this already for a couple of years with multiple engineering challenges. Very successful, very interesting, let's say, to work together with all of you. We've also received an award from the International Chamber of Commerce 2 years ago. Last year we were nominated and also received some other awards from the Invention Center and the Fraunhofer ICT. Besides the engineering challenges, we have also pitch sessions for which you can subscribe, but also we have a continuous intake of innovative ideas just to make sure that we always have a platform for you, for startups, for scale-ups to reach out to us as a big corporation. What's in it, let's say, for you, what's in it for us? Crowdsourcing of ideas is, of course, one of the key parts, also to inspire the teams to collaborate with you and build an entire ecosystem, because we typically see is that although open innovation is still perceived as something that is expensive, complex, or even, let's say, takes a long time, we actually advocate for the opposite. We think that working in an ecosystem with the right partners actually really speeds up open innovation, which is good for the startup and scale up, but also for the larger corporations. So what if those two would be working together? What if you make use of the latest intelligence tools and also use them for open innovation? So how we do this at this moment is really to use intelligence to scout emerging topics, to match it with, let's say, the competences that we have in our company, and then also start looking for collaboration externally to create proof points and really work to grow together along the value chain to see where we find new pockets, let's say, of doing business together. So that is, let's say, on how we work within our company, within the team, on open innovation supported by AI. Coming back, let's say, to bringing everybody together, and again, it's a delight that there are so many people here in the room, but also online. This is how we envision working together. So as said, as a company, we have a certain philosophy. We have certain competences and technologies that we think, let's say, really help, let's say, to solve problems in the future. And we also realize that we cannot do this together. So we work together as a team with R&D, with our commercial teams, with the product lines, with corporate innovation and our venture group. And of course, also with companies like yourselves, the startups, the scale-ups, the partners that we work with, but also with our customers that typically are part of our ecosystem or even joining our jury. And that makes it also very relevant, let's say, for, I think, the finalists that are here. It's not only our view, let's say, from Mitsubishi Chemical Group, but it's also the view of our partners and of our customers, why you were selected. At this moment, our team, let's say, our activities at the Growth Garage in numbers. Over the past couple of years, we had over 200 submissions from 38 countries, which make it very international. And we have identified 58 finalists. And with over 10 of them, we either are still working or we have created proof points together. So we are very happy, let's say, with that track record. Of course, our intention is to further intensify this and also start working with you as a finalist or even as a winner. So what do we see, let's say, as key success factors, almost coming to an end of this presentation over the past couple of years? What we typically see is that it's not only the best technology that wins. There are so many more elements that are required to really make an idea successful. And we have also indicated this here in our selection criteria. So what we see is that the differentiation of your value proposition, the uniqueness, but also your technology readiness level, your manufacturing readiness level are very important, let's say, elements of being successful. If you want to, let's say, have your technology adapted by customers, security of supply is very important. Sustainability element and circularity are key elements that need to be present, let's say, in any new business. Also, the culture within your company is very important. The strategic fit that you have with your partners. So sometimes somebody can be interested, but you also have to see whether your competences, capabilities, and skills also really reinforce one another. That is absolutely key. Speed to market is absolutely important. Certainly in days like these, we see companies going to the market within 1-2 years. That is really fast, but you also need to make sure that you, let's say, are able to meet such expectations. The macroeconomics, going back, let's say, to one of the first slides, are really important. But even looking at all of that together, there are two things that are standing out, and that is really the team. The companies that we have worked for really had great teams, different competences on board, from, let's say, finance to the technical parts, to HR, etc. So all of these elements need to be covered, let's say, in your team. So we really regard the team as the ultimate success factor. So if you are considering to work on any of these criteria, yes, all of them are important, but also make sure that you surround yourselves with the right people in your company. And that goes not only for your small team, that also is for our team, and also to make sure that you find the right partners. And that's also why we, let's say, hope to facilitate with this initiative to really bring the right partners together in this ecosystem. So always feel free, let's say, to reach out to any of the jury members or partners that are belonging to this competition. So if you are considering, let's say, whom to hire for your team, it probably needs to look a little bit like this. You probably, let's say, I'm not sure if this is reflecting your team, but this is just to really illustrate that you are looking for people that are willing to be uncomfortable, that are willing, let's say, to step outside of the industry, maybe not even know, let's say, that they are not following the rules in the industry. You hire for curiosity, for passion, for collaboration, for bravery, etc. And this is something that, let's say, you need to realize when you are assembling the team. It's not only about the technical part. This is just, let's say, also to challenge you a little bit, let's say, and open up your mind in how you set up your business. Last slide. Showing a little bit, let's say, also the characteristics of us as a company. Maybe on the background you see Mount Fuji, resembling, let's say, the journey that you are taking, the mountain that you are trying to climb, which can be a tough one, but it's also, let's say, a very interesting one, and the achievement can be really high. And in the front you see the cherry blossom, typically end of March, early April. It is about, let's say, new life, about vitality, about new ideas, building new business. But it's also saying goodbye, let's say, to some old habits and an old way of working. So I hope, let's say, this philosophy also helps you in your company. And I want to close this presentation with this message and go back to Joke, to the even more important part of this event, to go to the finalists. Joke, back to you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much for your presentation this afternoon. I will share my screen now. We will continue our program. Yes. So, as Tim already said, we have 11 finalists, and I will hand over the stage to Ishan Daftartar, my colleague, who will go into detail every project that's part of the finalist list. Ishan, the stage is yours.
Yeah. Thanks, Yoko, for handing it over to me. Yeah. We are very happy to receive some really high quality submissions in this challenge, and it was very difficult for the jury team to narrow it down. And today I'm very excited to also to explain what these projects are and how are they making changes in the industry. So let's take a look at the finalists. Our first finalist is Endless Loop from Turkey, and here Asife Pishro and the team from Tetra Pak, they've developed Poly-AL, which is a material derived from the recycling of beverage cartons. And Tetra Pak is one of the global leaders in the field of food packaging equipment. And this team is dedicated towards advancing the recycling of end-of-life packaging material and utilizing the recycled polymer aluminum in combination with large format additive manufacturing and for applications such as furniture and spare parts. So this initiative is quite commendable for its high impact and its scalability, as it uses an abundant waste stream and puts circular economy into practice. So the pellets that are made from the recycled cartons, they offer an excellent use case for applications in additive manufacturing. Next. The next team is Team ENG from the Admin Group USA, and this innovation from Admin Group addresses the limitations of the slicing methods in the XY plane of 3D printing. And Mark Sabaton and his team, they have patented the computer-aided additive manufacturing software that creates 3D models with double the strength in the XY plane. And this software eliminates porosity, which aids in the creation of stronger 3D printed parts. The software solves an important issue with the part strength due to the voids and porosity, and it also potentially broadens the possibilities of applications with 3D printing. And by printing the product right in the first instance, it also contributes towards minimizing waste stream. So this seemingly simple solution might have a high impact on the adoption of additive manufacturing in the industry and to print structural parts. Next. Our next team is Center Street Technology, CST from the US, and Bala Sherukuri and his team have developed water-soluble polymers in the pellet format to address the technical challenges and opportunities in tooling and rapid prototyping for the large-scale composite production. And these water-soluble pellets are used to create molds to produce parts with composites. So with the focus on improving part performance, reducing the manufacturing costs, and accelerating the production timelines, CST has identified key applications such as production of cores, mandrels, and sacrificial tooling for airframe structures. And they already have large-scale hybrid polymer manufacturing system that incorporates additive manufacturing, in situ geometrical scanning, 5-axis machining, all within one machine to create hybrid composite parts. So, and they would like to further advance this capability in collaboration with MCG. Our next team is Neotech from Germany, and we have Dr. Martin Hedges and the team at Neotech. They have introduced the Lunio lighting concept that uses additive manufacturing for creating lamps with 80% lesser materials. And these lamps can be repaired or refurbished at the end of its initial life cycle. So in this concept, they propose to use additive manufacturing to produce both the structural as well as the electrical components of the lamps. The Lunia concept demonstrates innovation in the circular economy for lamps, and it addresses an existing gap in the industry. The team has presented a very good example of incorporating circularity in their design and to leverage additive manufacturing to close the loop in an industry with a significant waste stream. Next. So our next finalist is Life Enable from the US. Life Enable offers 3D printed pediatric feet for children, for 3D printed prosthetic pediatric feet for children in the developing world. And with 3D printing, the prosthetics can be produced at a fraction of the cost compared to the traditional methods. And Brent Wright, the vice president of Life Enabled, aims to integrate FGF into the design and manufacturing to access a wider range of materials, and that will enhance the user comfort and also utilize materials with a lower carbon footprint. This application is very impactful with the social cause and will benefit greatly from FGF and also enable cost-effective scaling in the local communities. Next. Next, we have TestaSeat, and this startup, which is led by Alexander Gate, they've developed an innovative seating solution called the TestaSeat. And the goal of this is to enhance the independence, the mobility, and the overall quality of life of children with disabilities, and to ensure that they have equal opportunities to participate in the daily activities. So they are determined to enable individuals with disabilities to lead a normal life like normal functioning members and interact with the surroundings with a comfortable posture. So the Testa seat addresses an important issue with the existing solutions for seatings for the disabled, and they have presented a very compelling proposal to incorporate recycled materials and FGF. So it also highlights the versatility of FGF and its strong impact across applications. So the combination of a large structural part that requires customization seems a very good fit for the FGF technology. Next. So our next finalist is Dash from the UK, and Ryan Mueller at his company Dash has solved the issue of non-recyclability of traditional patterns and composite molds. And the innovation uses 3D printing with pellets to create molds that are free from bond lines and are suitable for high temperature applications. And these molds can be recycled once they are no longer needed. So this innovation unlocks another use case of FGF by promoting sustainable manufacturing of molds, and it provides a viable alternative to traditional molds in the automotive industry. Next, we have Snapform from Denmark. So Andreas Bjørsen and the team at Snapform, they have developed these affordable, high-quality prosthetic sockets that can be customized according to the customer requirements. And the solution called the SimFit, it helps design better fitting sockets using data-driven methods that can generate patient-specific simulations. And this also replaces the traditional trial and error fitting method with a more scientific data-driven approach, improving the patient's mobility. And the prosthetic socket is another excellent use case for additive manufacturing, and it has a significant impact on improving the lives of the amputees. With a combination of data-driven simulation and FGF, it makes a compelling proposal to improve the status quo of prosthetic sockets. Our next finalist is Proteso from Italy, and Stefano Toxeri at Proteso has proposed an electrically powered exoskeleton which is designed to reduce physical strains during heavy lifting and effectively preventing the onset of back pain and injury risk. And in their product, they use real-time algorithm that generates warning signals about the excessive workload during high-risk postures and the frequency of exertion. So effectively, exoskeletons are at the forefront of revolutionizing tasks that require repetitive load lifting, and they also promote the well-being of people. And as exoskeletons continue to improve over time, they would require further adaptations, and FGF might be a good technology fit for these adaptations and upgrades. Next. Our next finalist is Oka Architecture Design and Company from Japan. And Yuko Oka and his team at Oka Architecture, they've proposed using 3D printing FGF for creating architectural spaces. They plan on creating the interiors as well as the exteriors of the buildings using the broad range of material possibilities of 3D printing FGF. And the proposed applications encompass many of the benefits of FGF, such as the large build volume, possibilities of a large material selection, customization, in order to realize the design of the architect. The submission adds another interesting use case and which further highlights the versatility of the technology of FGF. Our jury team was quite impressed with this high quality of the submission and their use of recycled materials to address waste streams and the focus on solving labor shortages in Japan due to an aging population by switching to FGF makes it a very promising proposal. Yeah. And our last finalist for today is Helix from Poland. So Felix, Philip Torzinski at Helix is developing a small, affordable, and a robust universal FGF extrusion system that can be installed on the most popular types of desktop and professional 3D printers. The goal is to enable users to utilize the full range of different 3D printing materials, whether virgin or recycled. And this essentially allows 3D, users to 3D print with materials that were not possible to be printed with methods such as fused filament fabrication. And Helix's innovation addresses an important use case in the market as it enables the wider audience that are using 3D printing with filaments to make use of a new, cost-effective, and a more versatile technology. And it has a great impact towards further scaling and upgrading the 3D printing FGF technology. So once again, congratulations to all the finalists. So let's find out the winners without much further ado.
Thank you, Ishan, for running us through all the finalists. As everybody can see, let's say they are from all over the world. And also a large variety. Some of them are representing different industry, different applications, but also, let's say, really pushing the boundaries of technologies. In the end, let's say the idea was to select 10 finalists. We ended up with 11 after a long debate. And then we also wanted to make sure that besides the winner, we also give a couple of special recognitions. So let me start with the first one. The first special recognition goes to Center Street Technologies. Bala, I see that you also are in the meeting. Congratulations. Although not the winner, we really want to congratulate you on the amazing work that you do. The technology that you have has a really high technology readiness level, an MRL between 4 to 7, TRL of 9, and you're really bringing everything together under one roof. Which is from mold making to the machining, quality control, the design, etc. And now you also are pushing the boundaries really in building dissolvable molds with FGF, which also can really be of high interest, let's say, to the whole composite technology. So it's not only pushing boundaries in FGF, but also with the potential to advance, let's say, the whole industry of composite technology. So congratulations on behalf of Mitsubishi Chemical Group, but also on behalf of all the jury members. Yeah, you did an awesome job, and really interested to see where your technology and your company is going to take us over the next couple of years. So big congratulations to you. Then we have another special recognition to make, and this is for the company Helix. Philip, I believe you're also here in the call. Congratulations to you with your concept. Also here, we want to mention you, and why? Because you are really also pushing the boundaries in this industry. FGF, there are many, let's say, reasons, let's say, why this should be adopted in the industry, but you are going to help us with that. Why Ishan already explained about your technology and transforming those many additive manufacturing, 3D printing filament machines that are over the globe, transforming into FGF. It will help people to educate them, but also really to enable them to start working with this interesting technology. And then again, we have thousands and thousands of people all over the world that can start pushing the boundaries of this interesting technology. So Philip, congratulations with this special recognition. And then we go to the winner of this event. I'm very proud to be able to announce this. And the winner is... Yes, that is Testaseed. Alexander Gates, with your submission, yeah, the jury was really, let's say, unanimous that this is one of the top submissions this year. Extremely high in quality. So really great to actually see this. You make use of FGF to the fullest. Structural part, a large part needs customization, and it also really is taking responsibility, let's say, for the community, doing something for the disabled. So we are extremely proud, let's say, that you are participating in this competition, but also to start working with you, with your team, to see how we can help you to advance your technology, your product into the market,
with our expertise. So looking forward to start with that. Alexander, I'm not sure, let's say, if you are in the call. Let me shortly check this.
I think he's joining from the US and it's really early morning.
I just received the information that actually Alexander is not joining at this moment. So we hope, let's say, that this message arrives him in the next couple of minutes. We are going to make an effort for that. It doesn't change anything, let's say, on how excited we are, let's say, to start working with them. Of course, we also had, let's say, a couple of questions and also to understand the expectations of Testaseed to start working with us. Just as an FYI for everybody here on the call, we typically support those companies with our materials, with material expertise, with producing some of the parts, creating prototypes, industry expertise, connection to our venture group, joint marketing, etc. So these are, let's say, just a few of the elements that we have in our, let's say, package to start working with the award winner. And while we, let's say, are trying, let's say, to get a connection with Alexander, I propose that we move ahead with the agenda. And at the moment that he is joining us, that we shortly go back and celebrate, let's say, together with the winner of the engineering challenge. So Joke, shortly back to you.
Yes, Tim, thank you. Well, I think the most important part has been already scheduled. I would like to introduce Peter. Peter Walde is founder and CEO at Mapigi. Peter is also a speaker, a researcher, and an entrepreneur. He has, as I already said, founder of Mapigi. Mapigi is a leading market research service in the technology sector, which provides an up-to-date and comprehensive picture of the technology landscape and the latest trends, research, forecast, and use. So before setting up Mapigi, he headed the internal business unit for Volkswagen's data-driven competitive technology and trend intelligence. He has also a PhD in computer science from the Leipzig University. Peter, the stage is yours. I will stop sharing and you can share your presentation. Go ahead, Peter.
Perfect. Joke, do you hear me well?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thanks, Tim, and thanks, Joke, everyone, for having me here. I'm very curious to also hear your feedback. I've prepared a short keynote presentation, and I'm going to start with a picture. Does somebody of you guys recognize what it is? Probably now. Yeah, that's the replicator of the Star Trek episode of Star Trek movie. You see on the right, you see Data. And just a funny or small short story. When I was a kid, my best friend Stani and we loved watching Star Trek. Literally, every Tuesday, I think was it, after high school, went home to his place, and then we are curious to see the new episode. So we are amazed by the beamer, by exploring new worlds and new galaxies, but also by the replicator here that you see, a machine that could make anything appear. For us back then, it seemed like pure fantasy, yeah. Yet here we are now. I mean, we've listened to the finalists decades later with 3D printing, bringing that fantasy at least closer to reality. We crowned the finalists of the 3D printing FGF Fused Granulate Fabrication Challenge, Engineering Challenge. And to say, at least from my perspective, the caliber of entrants this year was impressively high, showcasing significant professional talent. And I'm very, very proud to serve on the jury and having the keynote here today. So back again to 3D printing. 3D printing is reshaping how we think about creation. From the food we eat to the homes we live in or offices we work in. And now I'll take you through the evolution of manufacturing, spotlighting the key technologies driving this transformation and 3D printing among them. And I will shortly explore its diverse applications and the future it promises. And secondly, I want to think of Erta, the guy here on the right from Star Trek, who is always learning, always using information to help his crew. I will demonstrate what is possible already today with AI, with data-driven decisions, or AI data-driven decision-making to shape a better future, or how we call it at MapPG, innovation intelligence. So let's talk about the evolution of manufacturing. Let's talk about how making things or manufacturing has changed over time. Driven, of course, by clever ideas and new technologies. Imagine it's 1780 and factories just started using steam to power up. And then in 1870, electricity came into play, speeding things up even more. And as years went by, we got smart machines, robots that worked with people, making everything more efficient. I myself experienced it at Volkswagen, these big robots from KUKA and so on. It's amazing. Yet by 2011, computers were fully involved, making every step smooth and connected. Digital. I think Industry 4.0 or Industry 4.0 was coined, I think, even in Germany. And now we've stepped into the fifth industrial revolution. It is all about augmented intelligence, the cooperation between man and machines as human intelligence works in harmony with cognitive computing. And this will lead, in my opinion, very, very clearly, it will lead to mass customization and personalization for customers. So let's quickly search for manufacturing. Let's be data. Hopefully you see what I'm doing. Just giving all these heads up, yeah? So manufacturing.
Yes, we are seeing what you are doing.
Perfect. It's different if you do it remote and not on premise. So let's go to trends manufacturing, and you will quickly see here, for example, the word cloud. A lot of different technologies and trends related to manufacturing as such. Of course, additive manufacturing even in the center, Industry 4.0, as I've just mentioned, digital twins, computer vision, alternative fuel, mobile robots, and so on. Let's go back to my presentation again. If you sort them by relevance or by signal strengths, you will find out that these are the top 5 technological drivers of manufacturing. It is, first of all, Internet of Things, IoT. Of course, it is the already mentioned robotics. It is AI. It is data analytics. And of course, last but not least, additive manufacturing, or also called synonym 3D printing. 3D printing has revolutionized prototyping, customization, and small scale production. It allows for rapid iteration, reduced material waste, and increased design flexibility. So let's dive into additive manufacturing or 3D printing now. Let's dive into the expansive world of additive manufacturing. With a multitude of methods and technologies for polymers alone, each method here is like a unique brush stroke in a painter's palette, shaping objects layer by layer. And the story deepens with a multitude of methods for metals and other materials, each with its own flair and function. For me as a layman, I mean, you're thinking like 10, 20 years ago, when I first heard 3D printing, my initial glimpse was a picture of a singular technology with a straight forward path. Now I see a rich tapestry woven from hundreds of processes, materials, and applications, each contributing to a vibrant landscape of possibilities. What seemed for me back then as a simple evolution is, in truth, a constellation of innovation, a big complexity. Additive manufacturing is not just a technology, it's a complex and thriving industry, a business of building blocks that together construct the future of manufacturing. 3D printing holds vast unexplored potential to reshape our everyday lives by offering innovation, customization, sustainability, and efficiency. Let's dive into more details here. Expect a widening array of printable materials, including advanced polymers, metals, ceramics, biocompatible substances, and probably even, in the long run, food. As technology progresses, 3D printing might become more accessible, affordable, and user-friendly, potentially integrating into everyday homes and workplaces. Efforts towards eco-friendly printing using recyclable materials and reducing waste during the printing process are gaining traction. Advancements in bioprinting may revolutionize healthcare by facilitating the creation of tissues, organs, medical implants, leading to personalized healthcare solutions. The fusion of 3D printing with AI and robotics could streamline and automate the entire printing process, enhancing efficiency and precision. And last but not least, 3D printing's potential for on-site construction using locally available materials will revolutionize space missions and support of world colonization. So now the question is, as you've seen, like, it's very complex. I mean, it's not one stream, one component. How to navigate this complexity, how to navigate in a sea of millions of ideas, trends, methods, materials, applications, industries, technologies, and of course, players who are driving it and who all want to make the world a better place. A few of them we just crowned today. While we may not predict the future, we at least can equip ourselves with facts and figures to make informed decisions that shape it. This is innovation intelligence. Innovation intelligence is about bridging what we've seen before, these science fiction things, pictures, feelings, to facts and figures, to make informed decisions today and now. So innovation intelligence is about AI-powered insights that are constantly up to date about any innovation in any industry in just a few seconds. Looking at the innovation world out there, of course, there are millions of companies, millions of startups, millions of research organizations, even more than 80 million experts worldwide, subject matter experts, who all research and develop, who drive innovation forward. And they leave a digital footprint. They leave a digital footprint in news and patents and science and research publications. They invest, they get investments. They are part of standard committees. So this digital footprint, that's really gold. This is what data accesses. So, and we put it in our innovation graph. You could put it into a digital twin of the innovation world out there. And we developed a platform that we call Scout. That in the end is a first-class innovation intelligence that provides innovation intelligence at a push of a button on a platform that anyone can use. So again, let's jump into the platform. Let's have a look at the library and just search again for manufacturing. You're quickly going to see everything which I've shown you before, lots of different emerging trends and technologies directly at your fingertip. You can also search for 3D printing. Print. misspelling, 3D printing, you're directly going to see a lot of different technologies, emerging technologies that are going to change the world of additive manufacturing or 3D printing. Of course, in the end, you can easily also save these trends, emerging technologies into your portfolio. That's what you can do. Let's do it. Go to the portfolio. I've prepared for Mitsubishi Chemicals here. Let's go for some materials. There's a folder, peers and partners, trends and technologies, materials and chemicals. You're directly going to see again projects, topics, emerging technologies that are related to materials, and you can monitor, you can set up alerts based on different indicators. Just going to zoom in here a bit. For every of these topics and technologies, of course, you can measure at instant how many companies are out there, how many startups, how much startup funding is there, how much research funding is there, or how much patent science press is there, how was the growth of these publications and media types. So in the end, yeah, you can set up alerts, and then you're going to be informed of any new innovation happening as you wish. So this is, of course, very complex. In the end, you want to visualize it. Let's go to a very nice visualization, which in the context of innovation management is kind of already almost a standard. It's the radar. So imagine you have like your complex technology portfolio or company portfolio, and you want to visualize it to your management. In the end, what you see here, again, I just chosen, I think, trends and technologies for materials, chemicals, trends and technologies for industrials, and trends and technologies for digitalization. And then I've organized them by the distance, act, think, watch. So what are the topics I want to watch only? What are the topics that I want to really act or interact now and today? And the size of these bubbles, let's say, could be research funding. You see directly here, sustainable circular economy got the most research publications out there. Or you can see for startup or patent growth, in this case, hyperautomation got the most patent growth here in this context. And you see, you can choose lots of different KPIs, indicators to measure change and innovation. Last but not least, of course, it's also interesting on a top level perspective to identify blind spots, white spots. So where am I strong, where I'm probably weak, what are my peers doing compared to me in these different technologies? And what I can do, for example, here in this matrix, I can list up all my trends and technologies in the context of manufacturing and list my peers. For example, Mitsubishi Chemical is here, Henkel is here, and I can just have a look at, let's say, patent growth. So you're quickly going to see Mitsubishi, for example. Yeah, patents grew a lot in the context of additive manufacturing, or Mitsubishi Chemicals listed or invented a lot in the context of additive manufacturing, as well as advanced materials, which is, of course, your core competence. But as you see, you can go way, 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 way broader and thus quickly identify white spots or probably also blind spots. In the end, of course, you can also, let's do it for additive manufacturing now, you can always deep dive into any technology, any topic, and in the end, identify the most important companies. It takes a while now for the search. Let's see. Companies, startups, worldwide, of course, trends. For example, the events. What are the most? I've shown you the 5 industrial evolutions. The same what we can we do also, of course, for additive manufacturing. What are the most interesting, important events for the last 3 years that were important for the development of additive manufacturing? We can go into market reports. Let's have a look here. Investments as well, but let's have a look at market reports. And that's something which is also always interesting for me. Have a look at the topic within additive manufacturing that grew the most, which is in this case 3D printing building construction, or 3D printing for building construction. Long speed short, each of these signals, each of these visualizations are points of light in the darkness. AI-powered insights act as your data, the beloved Android officer, processing vast amounts of information to provide you with actionable intelligence. Just as data would analyze a phenomenon and present his findings to, let's say, Captain Picard, such platforms offer innovation intelligence, enabling you to make informed decisions that shape the future of your enterprise. And in this future, such a platform is more than a tool. It's a member of your crew, dedicated to exploring the unknown with you, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Together, we are its architects, crafting what comes next with the precision of a replicator and the insight of the universe's greatest explorers. In the spirit of Star Trek, let us embrace the journey ahead with open minds and hearts, ready to discover, innovate, and transform the world around us. It's not just about the technologies we create, but the futures we imagine and bring to life through our shared vision and endeavors. Again, congratulations to today's winners. Thank you for your patience.
The objectives that make up those 110 controls. And any agency that comes and says, okay, can we see your SSP? And so you'll be.
Thank you, Peter, for presenting this to us, and also, let's say, painting a view of let's say the future or what it could be. Likewise, let's say some of the startups and scale-ups here, you're also pushing the boundaries of technology in the field of intelligence and innovation intelligence specifically. We have enjoyed, let's say, working with you and your team, and will continue to do so. Thank you for being here and also being part of the jury, supporting us with this. I think it's very important, let's say, yeah, to make use, let's say, of technologies like what you have in your company. At least it helps us a lot to be on top of the innovations. I would have expected, let's say, when you clicked on events, the most important events for 3D printing and additive manufacturing, also to have ours in there. So maybe that's something the algorithm missed. I don't know. Let's see next time if it's on the radar. I hope so. Just before we go to our next guest speaker, I see that Alexander is here. And Alexander, may I ask you to shortly open your mic and your camera? Alexander, are you here?
Yes, I'm with you. My deep apologies.
That is no worries, no worries. Very happy that you are here. We want to congratulate you and inform you that you are the winner of 11 great, let's say, finalists. We are very happy, let's say, to have you here in the award ceremony. So congratulations to you, to the team. We love, let's say, what you have submitted, how you are, let's say, using FGF, let's say, to the full extent. Instructional part, also to be able to customize, and also, let's say, do something good for a group of disabled, let's say, children. That whole combination really makes it worthwhile working with you, joining you, let's say, in your journey, and also supporting you to see that together, let's say, we also can really help you to move forward in this. If you don't mind, we have a couple of questions, let's say, for you. I shortly hand over to my dear colleague Ishan. So once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Again, apologize.
Yeah, hi Alexander, this is Ishan. Hi. So once again, congratulations. Yeah, your entry was very well resonated with the jury team and was much appreciated with the social cause as well as the scalability. And we have prepared a few questions and would like to get to know more about about you and about TestaSeed. So just very quickly, could you share what inspired you to launch TestaSeed and what inspired you to make a solution for the disabled? So yeah.
Of course. So we started the product working with rehabilitation centers and clinics. And one of the main things that they were asking is for customized solution. But there is no way to make a customized solution in affordable price without making it in 3D printed. So we started to work with the FGF about 7 years ago, developing the seating solutions. We believe all the time that the price point and also the scale of this technology is the most fitting technology for this kind of solutions. So we started to develop the customization platform, working with the clinicians. We saw that we're able to do also customized product, but also we are able to make it much more affordable than in other manufacturing ways, because we are able to make it in local manufacturing without distribution expenses, and also having all the manufacturing on site. So this is, I think, for us was the main decision that we want to change this market, because it's really poor with not supportive and customized product. And for us, FGF, it's the leading decision to enter this product.
Very nice. Yeah, that's good to know that you've been using FGF for quite some time now, and also, yeah, it's a as we have seen, it's a very interesting technology to also further scale up, and especially it's a your product is a very good use case. So yeah, that's good to know where it all began. So could you also share some insights into your journey, and what are your key milestones so far, and what challenges have you faced in your journey with Testa Seat, and also to scale up your product?
So I think one of the challenges right now is the regulation side and all the mechanical inspection on the manufacturing. So I think this is also one of the important things that we are trying to achieve through the partnership with Mitsubishi, and seeing what kind of materials, what is the best approach to scale up also on the size of the product, because printing small products, it's one, printing bigger small products, it's different from the structure, but also the fusion between the layers, that this is the one of the most challenging thing on 3D printing, in any printing. So yeah, I think this is the main challenges that we have right now. It's to understand what is the best manufacturing approach, what is the best material.
And have there been some key milestones so far in your journey?
Yes, so we're using let's say ABS material with very unique approach that we are looking how we making better fusion. It's both from the design side, it's also from the slicing side, and the material and the temperature. So this is kind of conditions that we have, but the challenge is to scale up. And there is many challenges like the warping of the products, using the ABS. So this is one of the challenges, but also on the bigger products, we still need to have something more reliable. So I think this is the good opportunity for us now.
Yeah, that's very nice to understand. And yeah, so for the last question, and you covered a part of it, but also from our side, so what would be your expectations when we collaborate with MCG? So what would be the ideal case scenario for you as a collaboration with MCG?
So I think the best scenario is to understand and test other materials and see how they can even simplify more the manufacturing process, how we can get to the all the ISO and FDA processes using the FGF technology, because again, one of the challenges is that each product is designed in a little bit different way. So we want to make sure that every single product is getting the best attention, and we know that the product's going out of the manufacturing in the safe and the best way. So regulation and choosing additional materials to see how we can grow, And I think also the additional expectation, or maybe something that we want to challenge or check in this process, is starting to use also soft materials to expand the products.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Alexander, and once again, a very big congratulations to you, and we look forward to also collaborating with you soon. So back to you, Joka.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ishan. Thank you, Alexander. Congratulations also from my part. Let's head towards the next step in our event. As it was very short notice, we have our last guest speaker, Bram Henen. Bram Henen is founder and CEO of Wevolver. And Bram, thank you for joining and presenting as a guest this afternoon. It was very short notice. If when I asked you, because our previous guest speaker is ill, is called in ill, and you were open and ready to support us as a long-time partner already with your presentation. Let's hand over to you.
Yes, hello everyone, and first of all, congrats, Alex. Great job. Also, congrats to the special recognitions and all the other finalists. It was very interesting to see all the submissions and all the great work done. So just a very quick introduction. Indeed, I'm CEO and co-founder of Wevolver. I have a background in industrial design. I co-founded a design studio where we focused on using advanced manufacturing technologies like 3D printing and advanced materials to create more sustainable and better and more lightweight products. And for example, we 3D printed a series of chairs in 2008, 2009, 2010. And I've seen the technology evolve, specifically also the applications and the uptake by the industry and the engineering community. So this challenge in that sense obviously has been close to my heart. Indeed, on the one hand, because of the topic, but also because at Wevolver, we really believe in giving people the knowledge and connections that they need to innovate. And I think that's what this challenge is doing. Not only is it spreading knowledge about FGF and educating the community and the industry, it's obviously also laying the connections between the incredible startups and scale-ups and Mitsubishi, who can help them accelerate what they do. So I think it's so it's been great to support this and watch all the participants come in. Little explanation about Wevolver. We are a platform and community used by engineers all across the globe to stay up to date about the latest technologies. So on our platform, we have organizations like companies, universities, as well as individuals publish about technologies. That can be articles, videos, case studies, podcasts, etc. And 3D printing is one of our top verticals, together with semiconductors and robotics and AI. Those are really the big topics on our platform. We use our web platform as well as our social media channels. On our website, we have a couple of 100,000 people every month. On social media, we reach a couple of million people organically with our content, and that's obviously how we've been trying to spread knowledge about this challenge and get the challenge and the stories about FGF to as many people as possible. So short other thing about our community, it's predominantly the new generation of engineers. So we're very strong in people from the early 20s to late 30s, but obviously we reach like every category. But that's really the heart of our community, with generally professional engineers, but also lots of startup founders and entrepreneurs in there. And what we see across the board is that our community is very hungry for knowledge, and obviously that's part of what we do with Mitsubishi. It's not just announcing a challenge and waiting till the applicants roll in, it's also spreading knowledge about the technologies and giving people access to that. The other thing we see, and I think that's very reflective in the finalists, is that increasingly people are very driven to make a positive impact with their work. So it's not just about making something new that makes a profit, but it's really about making a positive change in the world, and that can be social causes, but also the most dominant cause that people focus on is sustainability, which obviously was a factor in this challenge as well. And then the other thing that we notice in the community, that it's increasingly cross-disciplinary. So there can be mechanical engineers looking at 3D printing content because they might want to use it. They might need to collaborate with someone in the team who's working on it, etc. So we see it's very cross-disciplinary and cross-industry thing. I wanted to share a few things because I've been thinking. Obviously, I didn't have that much time going into this presentation, but I thought, like, okay, what's interesting to share? And I had the opportunity to briefly look at what I could see from the sort of insights that we have into what people have been looking at and who's been looking at the challenge. So well, I put it on one slide, but it's actually more the story. So I'm quickly gonna share my screen to have that as a bit of a background.
Bram, if I may ask you a question in between, and it could be interesting,
Yeah.
let's say also for the audience to zoom a bit into that. You made a remark about, let's say, it's cross-functional or cross-disciplinary. We also see that, let's say, the future is hybrid, meaning, let's say, industries, let's say, are collaborating, working together. Yes, it's medical, but it's also electronics, integrating. We also see technologies, let's say, are being combined and integrated, like we have now with FGF and machining, and quality inspection, and maybe even, let's say, some continuous fibers. Is it also, let's say, that you see on your platform?
Yeah. That is in a way that it is something that I wanted to illustrate. Like the interest in the technology is from a wide variety of industries. So it's not that only a few manufacturing companies are looking at 3D printing. It's very broad, and there are some unexpected things in there as well. And we also see indeed the interest coming from both the biggest corporations on the platform on the planet to sort of like smaller, like to individuals. And you also see it obviously in who's looking at, but also what specific content people are researching. So yeah, very much so, Tim. I can actually, so I'll skip this slide because this was the intro I already did about Wevolver. But a few things stood out when I looked at sort of like which organizations have been looking at the content that we published about this challenge. And the sort of disclaimer there is we can only see like a very small sample size of all the people who look at the content, only a small sample size we can actually identify. We can see like from which company, either through their IP address or through their user account, is reading this content. But across the board, it does give us an insight. And so here are a few things that stood out. So first of all, it's not surprising that the automotive industry is interested in this technology. But what I did find interesting was that we saw the biggest tire manufacturers on the world of the planet looking at the content. And that was something I was like, huh, tire manufacturers. But then I did make a connection that we've seen, not specifically in this contest, but we've seen on our platform increasingly content about airless tires. So there might be something there. We've actually seen it in a previous challenge with Mitsubishi, where there were submissions in the field of airless tires. But this has been super interesting to see. I mean, the companies that viewed that content together represent a 50 billion market cap, about half of the whole tire market that is. So that is definitely something interesting to continue figuring out what's going on there. The other kind of like surprise to me was the interest from a number of construction and civil engineering companies. Until I think Peter mentioned that he could see that as well in his data, and of course we did have a submission that was relevant in this field as well. But going into this challenge, I would have not expected that. But it does again align with a broader trend we see, that there's more and more content coming out about 3D printing in construction. Usually that is more FDM-like printing of concrete, but apparently there is also being paid attention to FGF, or at least we're now getting on the radar of that industry. The other sort of bigger ones are less surprising, but I did want to mention them. We did see a number of engineering service firms who are likely for their customers reading into this technology. And then the other sort of obvious one, but it's good that it's also confirmed, is that in industrial automation and machinery, that quite a few companies from that industry were looking at the challenge. So all those mentioned here didn't become participants. Most of them are too big to be kind of like interested, I guess, in participating in a challenge. But they are clearly taking notice. That is obviously interesting for Mitsubishi, but it's also interesting for the participants. You are, by joining this challenge, by becoming a finalist, getting on the radar of these big corporations. So who know what that could lead to. Yeah, I think that's really sort of, I think, the most interesting things I wanted to bring to the table. It's for us been the 5th challenge that we co-organized with Mitsubishi. We've seen the submissions becoming better and more professional over time. This was by far the most difficult jury decision we've ever had. So yeah, big congrats to all the participants, and also thanks to you, all the jury members, and Mitsubishi. And that's it for now.
Thank you for joining us, Bram. Also, let's say as a long-term partner and hopefully for many more years. I think your platform also really resembles the open innovation character that we also, let's say, very much value in this engineering challenge and with this initiative. Indeed, what you mentioned, let's say also to the finalists, we also will make interviews with them and also make sure that they also get under the attention, not only, let's say, in MCG, but also at its partners and also in a wider range. So we hope that also helps you, let's say, to make sure that you get to the attention of the right, hopefully, let's say, customers or interested parties that help you move forward. Thanks again, let's say, for your flexibility, Bram, and also your contribution. And then I shortly go back to Joke.
Unfortunately, my dear audience, we are at the end of our event. Luckily, we have you as participants, finalists, and also my jury team to support us and make it possible to have this event today. And I hope that everybody will follow us on our LinkedIn platform. We will share news, we will share also results, and we will share our future programs with you through the LinkedIn profile. So please, if you want to reach us, you can join us and reach us via our platform and also via LinkedIn. So very happy to have you here today. Thank you for your interest in this engineering challenge, and really hope to see you in our next event. Have a very nice day over all the globe.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.